Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Life Chronicles and Deep Dives podcast. I'm here with Coach Cornelia, who is in, I believe, Denmark right now.
In Denmark right now, yes. Hi, Mika. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
And we're going to talk about that here in a minute, just about what transpired between Romania and Denmark and how you got there, because I really want to share that with the group. I already know the secret, but
Yeah,
I'm sure
okay.
they'll find it. Uh, for this episode, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to try a new format. So we're going to be trying to put out, smaller, shorter form videos. And I know every once in a while we say we're going to do it, and sometimes we don't, and sometimes we do. We just get stuck talking about stuff, and then it just ends up
Mhm.
a great episode anyway.
Yeah.
Um, this episode we just kind of like wanted to catch you guys up on what we've been doing this summer because I know like in the summer, spring, and Cornelia's got a schedule that's slightly more busy than mine. So with her daughter and tournaments and stuff like that, I'm gonna let her talk about that. We want to make sure that we are catching you guys up, but we also want to try to make sure that we're getting some episodes out there so you don't think that we forgot you guys. So, Cornelia, tell me about Romania to Denmark because I know what you did, and we don't do that too much in America. So tell me about your travels.
First of all, I didn't know you're not doing it in America. I thought everyone is doing over there because I've seen some movies with some great trains. They were looking great. So now the secret is revealed. So we went from Romania to Denmark by train. We used to do this every once in a while because I want Maria to, I don't know the world and understand how it works and meet a lot of people and from different countries and so on. So we are doing this from time to time. And this time we took the train from Romania and came to Denmark. Me, Maria, and our one of our dogs, Dottie. Because we took Dottie because she's a very, very good dog. You can train her on a leash. The other Labrador we have, you cannot train him. So we brought him with the car with the company. So
Right.
yes, it was the three of us girls just going by train.
So is it a straight shot? I don't think it's a straight shot, is it? You have to like go get on and get off, or how's that work?
I wish it were, but it's not like that. So from my city, Constance, I had to take one train to Bucharest, the capital of Romania, then another train to Budapest, and then another one to Vienna, and then another one to Hamburg. And from Hamburg, my husband came and take us to Denmark. So
Awesome.
it was a long, long,
So
long
tell me
road.
about the car layout. How does that work? You get in this thing, and I don't know if it's like a movie. I know I saw some pictures online. It looks like there's like a little booth. You get your own booth, your own car, your own like little room, or how's that work?
So you get a night train from Romania to Budapest or to Vienna. We didn't catch. I never thought it's gonna be so busy. So we didn't catch any places in for the Vienna one. So we took the Budapest one. So you have a couch. This is how we call it for two persons, or we took for two, of course. But you can take for four or six, or you can sleep with strangers if you want to, but it's on different, like you are a woman with women, men to men, and so on. It's very cozy. It's very nice to. We haven't slept too much because we were watching the lights on the window,
Mhm.
so we haven't slept too much, but it was very nice.
And so we already talked about this, the food cars. So you said that you picked up food at the train station, like you go grocery shopping and then you take it with you,
Yeah,
or do they have like dining cars that you just get up and you go to uh something like you'd see in a movie?
I wish they had. Before leaving Romania, I was watching Agatha Christie's movie. I mean, the movie after her book. I think it was Crime on the Orient Express. And Orient Express is a train that is still working in Europe, so it's still going right now. And they had a great restaurant in the train. We don't have it, unfortunately. It's something very, I mean, you can have a drink, but it's kind of all. So yeah, we buy food from the train stations, and then we eat in the train.
Okay. So that's not too bad. You like grocery shop, pick up some stuff, go in, and then you kind of like go.
Yeah.
in America, right, we do have that. We have Amtrak, which is like a high
Mhm.
speed rail, and then we
Yeah.
have some of those older like trains. They look cold. They look like coal trains. I don't know if they're still running on coal, but they they have like the vintage type cars with the intricate wood grain and the tables and the like you can rent them out. Those are a little bit more luxury. Trains training across America from what I remember, and I used to be obsessed with trains when I was growing up. You know, it's cheaper than flying, but it takes longer. Less and less people are doing it. Um, I don't know about like the safety of it in terms of like your passenger, pool, what you're going to get. I would think it'd be a little bit different than like subways or something like that, where you're like super congested,
Yeah.
because you're buying a ticket to travel long distances. Now, I have bought train tickets in Illinois to travel, short distances, but not like cross country. And
Mm.
I think we still have some tracks that are open so you can take those scenic routes. And it's like a 10-day trip across country or something like that. And then those trains, they do have like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
And they take you through like the mountains and all this these scenic routes and stuff like that. I would be excited to take a train. Me and my wife were talking about it. Actually, I think it was like yesterday or the day before. Um, today, today, I think she said she had a dream about being on
Mm.
a train when she woke up. I
I
would
recommend it to everyone.
do it.
It, I recommend it to everyone. It's a great experience.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of something that and I know California was supposed to be building like a high speed rail, which would be kind of cool, except for you miss out on like the scenic aspect of the train. However, they like wasted so much money and there's regulations and who knows where the money went. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to ever get their high speed rail going, right? It's almost like a money pit that's going nowhere. Uh, but it would be interesting. I think if I were going to do it now, I probably wouldn't take the Amtrak. Not that I don't want to, it's just that I would want to take the scenic routes with the more vintage type trains and like the luxury, like vacation aspect of it.
It would be beautiful. We have one in Europe. I think it's only one that is like this. It's very expensive. And I think you go for 20 days or 22, and you go all over Europe. It's beautiful. I'm sure it is beautiful and very, very expensive. But you said that the trains are cheaper than the flights in the
Yes.
United States. In here is different. And the train is very expensive. It's much more. I mean, we've paid like probably 10 times more than the flight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's very
crazy.
expensive. We went to from Denmark to Italy a few years ago with trains just like that and it cost us I think over 1,000 euros.
Okay. So we're
And
talking,
the flight to Italy was like 2 hours and you were paying 30 euros.
oh, okay.
That's how,
Oof.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
expensive.
I don't
In,
know where the break off is. I think trains are just less traveled. And I don't quote me on this, but I believe if you're taking the Amtrak someplace, it's cheaper to take the train in the United States than it is to fly. It just takes you
oh.
honestly, longer. But
Mm.
I I don't remember ever being in like a overnight car in the United States. I remember being on Amtrak or in an Amtrak train, but we were just traveling from a city to another city. But and this would have been when I was younger, so I have like vague memories of it, but it also wasn't very scenic because it was in Illinois, and that's basically just flat in cornfields, and so it looks kind of crazy. What
Hmm.
else have you had going on this summer? What else you got going? I know you're
Nothing much.
doing for tournaments, no?
Yeah, that's my main business lately. Yeah. So many tournaments and it's so, when you're thinking about waiting, and maybe sometimes we can talk about this, waiting, just waiting for something. for someone. For example, I'm waiting for my daughter to finish. She's playing chess, as you know. So waiting is very hard, very hard. I mean, okay, you're fresher in the morning when you go there, but uh, a chess game can last for 5, 6, 7 hours, and at the end of it, you're just finished. So for me, the summer started when we got to Denmark. That's when I started to relax a little bit, not being so stressed anymore. It's such a different vibe in here. In Romania, everyone is in a hurry, everyone is going somewhere, everyone is doing something. You have to do something all the time. In Denmark, it's lighter, and this is where I find my place to relax, to refresh. I went out in the This is what I've done since I came here. Every day, a few times a day, I'm just going out in the garden in my bare feet, and I just on the grass. And the night when it's a little bit wet, it's such a great feeling. Amazing.
Yeah, like connecting with nature, being able to
Yeah.
like settle down and relax. Like I think we talked about this. Like I find times where like I just feel so tense that I need
Mm,
to go out and like do that. So I'm either going to the ocean or going to the mountain and like, just to connect with it, feel it, get in the sun, listen to the waves, just be outside.
yeah, it's great. And to my shame, it is that I'm a beach girl and my daughter as well. We haven't been to the beach. So our city is a coast city. We have the Black Sea, which is beautiful. We haven't been to the beach. We came here in Denmark. You have North Sea. Yesterday we've been to the Baltic Sea. Never gone to the beach. So I'm just hoping that we're gonna have time to do it. Yeah. How about you, Micah? How is your summer?
Well, my summer's doing pretty good. I've got a couple big ticket items that I've punched on my punch card, to-do list stuff. I recently passed my motorcycle endorsement test. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Congratulations.
that was a year in the making. I decided that I really wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I bought one, didn't know how to ride it.
You said 1 year?
1 year.
1 year? I mean, it's the school to learn how to drive a motorcycle?
No, no, no. So like you take a class. It's a 2 day class, and
Okay.
I think and then there's like a 2 hour online session that you have to do first. That class combines in-class stuff, a written test, practical, bike familiarization. Consider I bought a bike, didn't know how to use it. So I had to go to the class. You have to have 4 tests to get it on your license permanently as an endorsement. So you do your first class and you pass a practical and a written test, and you have to pass some of the exercises in the class or show
Mm-hmm.
improvement, and then you get a permit. So for the last 11 months, I've been riding on a permit. So that has restrictions. It means you can't ride at night. You can't ride with another passenger.
Okay.
Um, and so I was just practicing. First, I started in my neighborhood, and then I started, taking it longer distances. And it's not like my neighborhood's connected to another neighborhood, which can get you to the city. You have to get on a highway to get to,
Mm-hmm.
town or to work. It's for a short distance, about 10 miles. So I would get a mix of the highway. I would get a mix of in city or in town because we have a small town and in neighborhood. So I did that. I did it through winter. I would go whenever it was not raining. So it rains, I don't know, 9, 10 months of the year. It's cloudy here. I would
Mm-hmm.
go out. In winter, I got hypothermia twice because I went out when it was like 20 degrees to
Really?
practice. Yeah.
I'm
Well, when you're riding on a motorcycle,
Yeah,
uh,
it's
wind
so cold.
speed
Ah, okay.
brings the temperature down.
Yeah. Wow.
When spring started to happen, I took my bike in for an oil change to get it, checked over to make sure everything was right. The guy's like, "Oh, you're nose diving quite a bit." I was like, "Oh, I guess I didn't really notice. I thought this was just what the bike was supposed to be doing." And turns out my front fork springs were shot. So when I bought the bike, I guess the guy didn't advertise that, and I didn't know it. So I had been practicing the first 6, 7 months with like shot front fork springs. So he replaced them, serviced the oil, and it was a night and day difference. I could ride it. I could, everything was much easier now that the front fork was
Mm-hmm.
service correct. After that, I started practicing. I took it to work. I'd start taking it longer distances to the gym, to work. And then after that, it came time for me to take the test. So you have to take a second class. It's a 1 day class. So in total, you're in class 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pass a practical test and a written test again. Uh, and I was like super nervous about it, but I passed it.
Can you use your bike?
I can.
Okay.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I used my bike. I think there was only one other guy that used their own bike during
Mm-hmm.
the thing. And I was like, well, I better practice with what I'm going to be using rather than practice with something, that I'm not going to use.
Is it expensive to do it?
The
Like this?
classes,
Yeah.
in total for both classes, it's about $700 US.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
So
expensive.
yeah, it's pretty expensive. And when you go to get your license, you have to pass within a certain time frame. So you get one permit, it lasts 180 days. You can re-up your permit again. That also lasts 180 days. Once that's done, you have to take your practical tests and your endorsement tests, like written tests. Because if you don't, then you have to start all over again.
Oh,
Yeah. So you have to pass 4 tests to get
yeah.
your endorsement.
Yeah.
uh, 2 written, 2 practical. And so I was able to do that. So that was pretty exciting.
Now you can drive it everywhere you want and take your wife with you as well.
Yes, we went out yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm still kind of getting used to like the different weight changes. Um, but we didn't spill, we didn't dump it yesterday. So, I mean, it seems to be, and that's another thing. It's like, I want to make sure that I'm being responsible with my wife on the back. You know what I mean? I don't do anything crazy. I don't try to like push it. I don't try to like cut off cars or, risk it for the biscuit. I'm trying to be careful and, we're just trying to go for a nice, relaxing ride. We went a little bit further than we did the previous time.
Yeah, can I ask you a question about it? So you
Yeah.
have this helmet on your head when
Yeah.
you're motorcycle. So you have this like a window here,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
And when it rains, what's happening?
Okay, so when it rains, that window gets covered in water droplets, and I'm looking at like some Rain-X type stuff. I don't know what's safe to use, but I'm looking at it, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Mm-hmm.
essentially this you would have to wipe that. This is a modular helmet, so the front face lifts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, you can use it like this as well, yeah.
Yeah. Um, if if it gets like full of rain, like I rode it into work. What was it? Last Wednesday, and it was like kind of foggy, drizzly, and I just was wiping it with my glove.
Mm.
I think what I'll do is I'll see what's safe to use on there, like a Rain-X that beads the water and like kind of like runs it off a little bit better, and see if that works. I think that's the next plan for safety. I just got this helmet Friday,
Mm.
and it's
Great.
got like Bluetooth, so it's got speakers and a microphone in it and stuff.
Does your wife have to use one as well?
Yeah, so she doesn't have the helmet. Yes, so like if we're riding together, she's gonna wear full gear. So we just actually yesterday went and got her armor pants. So it's got like knee pads.
Mm-hmm.
It's made of like a certain material that like rips. It's ripstop. We got her a coat with like shoulder and elbow and hip and back pads. We her helmet had the Bluetooth speaker intercom system in it already. Mine didn't. So I had a helmet and then I shelved it and I bought this one, came Friday, and this one has intercom. So that way when I'm riding and she's riding with me,
Great. That's great.
yeah, we can talk back and forth. And so it makes it a lot easier. Hey, there's a stop coming up. Hey, there's a turn coming up. Hey, we're going to be making this sharp, curve or whatever. Oh, watch out for this deer's coming up. She can also report to me things that she sees. Hey, there's no traffic coming on your left or on your right. And that
Mm.
makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's such a great adventure. I wouldn't, I think I would be afraid to do it, but I think it's such a great adventure.
Absolutely. The second item for this summer, and technically 2 and 3 are kind of conjoined. They're the same event. I was asked to earlier this year officiate a wedding for a friend of mine, and so I
What does it mean to officiate a wedding over there? Because in Europe you can only do it with a priest, or I mean you have two kind of I mean the civil wedding, then you go to the how is it called? To the mayor house. I don't know how it's called. And then they give you the papers, and then you go to the priest. But
Mhm.
I've seen that in America you can do it in many ways.
Yeah. So what happened is they technically already had the marriage license and certificate from the government. They did civil, so they went to the courthouse, filled out their paperwork, got it signed by a judge,
Yeah.
sealed it. That they had already done. So for me, my job for the officiating part was to curate the ceremony. I'm standing there with a microphone, I'm reading, I'm
Oh,
cueing them on
wow.
their
Like you
vows.
see in the movies. That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of that, it was like maintaining the schedule that, the bride and the groom had already created, what they wanted to, how they wanted to keep the schedule going. So I was in charge of watching the time, getting on like, hey, it's time to eat now. That's not how I said it, but everybody get up, it's time to eat. It's not. I was a little bit more entertainment. So mine was showmanship.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty exciting because I got to marry some friends. And you know, I guess working on public speaking, it's pretty easy to speak to you on this computer. I mean, I guess it's easier for me than for some people. However, when you're doing it in front of a live audience at somebody's wedding, where one mistake can ruin it, it's a lot of pressure. So I focused on like slowing down my speech. On here, I talk fast because I want to make sure that we're getting in everything in the time frame.
Yeah.
Usually, I've had some coffee. I'm high energy, but for there, I needed to slow everything down, pronounce and announce, and do that. The second thing, in conjunction with that wedding that I did, was also uh, they invited one of their friends to bring his like DJ controller,
Mm-hmm.
and so he would want to step away and like enjoy the reception and food and whatever. And so he was like, "Hey, can you watch this?" And I was like, "I am not sure I know what to do here." And so, but I've always had this passion to figure it out. So
Mm-hmm.
he kind of like crash coursed me on this DJ controller and was like, okay, so this is how you load this. This is how you load that. These are the types of songs. These are the beats per minute. This is how load deck one, load deck two. So very simply, I would sub in when he would step away uh, and just load, the next song and then the next song and then whenever he wasn't there, and then he would come back and then I would step away, go get something to eat, stuff like that. So
You
that was
like it?
I did.
Yeah.
Did. I have friends that are more than this guy. This guy recreationally does it, but I have friends that actually have a business uh,
Mm-hmm.
where they uh, perform. I have another friend who has a residency at one of the clubs down in Seattle. His name is Mike Stevens, and he's down there at Trinity. He's also played at like Beyond Wonderland and Base Canyon. These are like huge events.
Yeah.
in Washington at the Gorge. My friend Mark and his wife Becky run Codex Collective, and they have a huge assortment of DJs, and they do shows at clubs, View, Seattle, they Orient Express. Sometimes they put on their own shows, and so they are, it's just like great talent pool. I've got another friend of mine. His name's Alex, and him and his partner, they're like a duo of DJs, work together, and they put on shows down in Seattle and places, Space Canyon too. And so it's exciting because I plan on learning how to do it. I talked to the wife. I was like, "Hey, can I can I buy a DJ deck?" And she's like, "Sure. How much is it?" I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
I don't know, 2 to 3 grand." She's like, "Ooh, yeah, we might want to save up for that one." Um, it is on a priority list for me, but it's not like all the way up. I've got a couple of classes that I need to finish. I'm still working on that narcissistic abuse treatment clinicians course offered by Dr. Ramani, because I realized that I was supposed to be quizzing each module as I was going, but I was
Oh.
just listening to it, and I'm gonna have to quiz at the end. So we still got a lot of stuff that we need to do, but we are working on it. And by we, I mean me and myself.
I guess I mean my favorite job was when I was working in radio, and I was by myself in a very small cabin and with a lot of how is it called, like things to non-amplify the noise from outside. I don't know how it's called at this point. So it was very quiet in there. I had such a great time by myself putting music. It was amazing. And I remember I was knowing in the city because it was a like a local radio station, and I was knowing for not speaking. I mean people are listening to the radio for the music. I mean,
Yeah.
we have news every hour and we have like does it rain, that it doesn't rain and so on. But then you are listening to the radio for the music. So I was never speaking. I was just saying hello and goodbye. And that was my and everyone was listening to the show because it was uninterrupted music.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the problem now is that you get a lot of, I mean, YouTube used to have no ads.
Mhm.
Now it's like an ad at the beginning and then every 2 minutes is an ad or, whatever, unless you pay for it. Radio stations, just the same, right? They've got this huge 15-minute chunk of talking, couple of songs that are the same songs every day. They just mix up the different order. And then,
Yeah.
it's just like back to it.
Yeah. I remember my boss was always telling me that I'm crazy because I was not following his list of music. I never got it. Why are you doing the same music every single day, every single hour? It's the same music. I wouldn't listen to it. I'm not listening to the radio if it's doing like this. So I used to just choose a theme, Elvis Presley or whatever. Music for some music for drive speed driving, so or something like this.
Mhm.
Just putting it. So yeah, I had a lot of fights with my boss because they have these lists that they are following. I never understood why.
My ultimate goal is to, I don't think I'll do radio. I know you did radio and like that. I don't even know if I really even want to do like a full-blown show. I might. As soon as I buy this controller, I actually have a program on my computer to like make music, so sound design,
Mhm.
whatever. And I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was like 2 years ago. I like made a very small sample song. I like didn't know any how to use the program. I was just messing around, and I finally got it to where I could like add a beat here and change this sound. And I made like a 20-minute sample of like of a song, and I thought that was pretty cool. And that
Mhm.
sparked that curiosity to get into the music again because I grew up playing instruments, but it's not the same as making music on a computer.
What instruments did you play, or are you playing now?
Right now I'm not playing any. I'm trying to figure out these programs on my computer so that way I can make some songs there while I don't have the DJ controller that's going to cost me a couple $1,000 US. on top of that, when I was younger, I used to play bass clarinet, B flat clarinet, and I was alternative percussion in marching band.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the clarinet was my mom's, so it was a pass down, and it's actually an imported wooden clarinet from France. So a lot of times now you'll see things are made out of plastic. This
Yeah.
one's actual. This is a real wooden from France clarinet. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah.
Well, everybody, that is what we had going for the summer. I mean, this is a little short snippet episode. Cornelia, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in about your summer before we close out?
Today I've been making sour cherries tarts and peach tarts because I'm so relaxed here. So very happy about it.
Oh, getting into that creativity and the baking and oh,
Yeah, I
I'm
missed
not
it.
much of a baker, but I can just smell what you're cooking right now. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you some pictures if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Send them over. All right, guys, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the link in the description box below for our websites. We hope to see you guys back in the next one.